What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another Tottenham update for today. A bit of a slow news day, so not much going on, but we do have a couple of stories to bring to you. First of all, let's talk about some transfer rumours, and it's a player called Gabri Veiga of Celta Vigo. As Graham Bailey says that Tottenham have sent scouts to watch the 20-year-old Gabri Veiga, who is set to leave Celta Vigo this summer. Interesting player, 24 games this season, 8 goals, 3 assists. Has predominantly, well, he's played 8 games in the number 10 attacking midfielder role, played 8 games in the central midfielder role a bit deeper. He's played at right wing and as centre forward as well. Most of his goals has come when he's been deployed a bit deeper in the central midfield positions, but he seems to be a very creative player. I don't know if you've had a look of him or ever seen him play. I haven't seen him play, but just judging by the kind of stats, he does look like a kind of creative player, might fill the kind of void in that squad that we need.
Yeah, I don't know about creativity. He seems like one who's like gets goals from midfield, like makes great runs into the box if he's scoring goals from deep in those kind of situations. He's definitely 20 years of age, doing quite well in La Liga. He's kind of one of those players who seems to be breaking out at the moment and seems to be not quite exploding, but finding that position for him. Because I think, as you say, he's played a lot higher up the pitch. Now he's coming a bit deeper and he's finding that position for himself. And maybe he's one, if we do sign now, he's kind of the next generation of, attacking central midfielders, part of that next generation we have to start looking at, because we know we don't have that kind of profile at the moment, and maybe it's one we can, jump ahead of the competition when we can get him in early if we believe we've scouted him and think he could have a really big future. I don't think he's got any caps for Spain, but
he's only got one under-21 cap.
But he's still very young, 20 years of age. So I think he's doing very well for his age, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he's also a player. I mean, I don't know how viable the sources are, but I've just done a quick search and he's been linked to the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, Real Madrid. So, I mean, there is that sort of interest into him. So maybe it'll be good to steal a march early if we can do that. He's got 2 years left in his contract at Celta Vigo. So we'll just have to see how this one plays out, if it is a goer or not, but I'm sure we'll hear more about it in the summer.
Or not.
Yeah. Next up, let's talk about Harry Winks, because we brought you his comments yesterday regarding Harry Winks, talking about that he hasn't been contacted by anyone at Spurs. A few accounts on social media are a bit up in arms, saying disgraceful, how can the club not keep in contact with a Spurs boy who's been away. He's actually come to clarify those comments, and he says, I just wanted to clarify that my comments about no contact from Spurs were in regards to plans for next season. There are still plenty of games left this season for both Sampdoria and Spurs, and this has to be the full focus for both. Having been at Spurs since the age of 5, I have nothing but respect for everyone at the club. So I think everyone can stop going mad about that now.
I mean, I don't understand what he's clarified. There's no contact. He's still kind of saying there's no contact. So it doesn't seem to me that there's much difference. He's saying in regards to next season. So what, have they contacted him? He never clarified to say, no, they have contacted me. He just said they haven't contacted me in regards to next season. So I don't know. It doesn't sound like much has changed in my opinion. But
yeah, but I mean,
I don't think it was
he felt
anything
the need to come out and say this.
Yeah, probably he was told by the club, like, you should just tell everyone.
So he has been contacted by the club.
I guess that's it. There you go. He was probably contacted by the club, say, look, just say you love the club and move on. They'd go, all right, fine. And that's what he is. Look, to be fair, he is an academy boy, isn't he? He's a Tottenham boy. He came through our academy. So I think he deserves that bit of respect. But yeah, obviously he's going to say that, isn't he? He's going to try and just smooth things over. But I don't think he really says anything.
I think from my understanding, from what he says that when he said he wasn't contacted, he meant he was not contacted in regards of next season. There's no comment or anything about if he's been in contact throughout the season regarding anything else. So from me, it just says, yeah, they just haven't spoke about the plans for next season. That's what he's alluding to.
So have they spoken to him?
That's not even been spoken about.
So that's what everyone was unhappy at. I don't know. Whatever. It's always a stupid situation. Yeah, who really cares?
Everyone just likes to make a mountain out of a molehill, and there's nothing in it, literally nothing in it. But let's talk about Dele Alli now, as sources in Turkey are claiming that Besiktas boss has now banished former Tottenham midfielder Dele Alli from the squad and does not plan to use him in the matchday squads for the rest of the season, and he'll watch the games from the stands until he returns to Everton. And why this has a kind of implication on, well, it doesn't really have an implication on Tottenham, but the only implications on Tottenham is that we're due a fee from Everton if he does reach 20 appearances for the club. And he hasn't done that, obviously. But obviously, it remains to be seen if Sean Dyche will use him if he does come back for next season. But I mean, when you just think things can't get worse for Dele Alli, they do. I mean, it just goes from his nightmare at Tottenham for the last 2 years, going to Everton, thinking, all right, that's going to reinvigorate his career. They completely chuck him away, and now Besiktas are chucking him away.
He can't even get in the pitch for Besiktas. That just shows the state of his career at the moment. Does he even care? I mean, you have to do something really bad to be banished from a team like Besiktas, who were probably so happy to have you, and you saw the reception he got when he first arrived there. They were like absolutely over the moon to have someone like Dele Alli through the door and playing for their football club, and to be banished. Not even like to say like, oh, he has to fight for his place or he's going to be on the bench. To be banished into the stands, he can't even set foot on the bench. They don't even want anywhere near him. They don't want him anywhere near the footballing side. That goes to show his attitude. That just goes to show his professionalism right now and how much does he really care. Because he must not care at all if that's the state of play right now. Because if he was giving 100% and if he was like being a professional and trying his best, even if he wasn't playing well, they would still want him there. The fact that they don't want him there, I think, speaks volumes. And his career has just gone. I've never seen a career go so downhill, to be honest. From such heights.
26 years old.
Can you think of a player who's hit that height at that an early age to go so low so quickly?
I don't think there has been a player that in that magnitude to go that fast, that down that quickly.
You can argue maybe Gaza, but I don't think it was different circumstances.
It's way different circumstances. I mean, Gaza has his own
it was all injuries
to deal with, you know what I mean? But a lot of injuries. Dele it's just an effort thing with Dele, to be honest.
It must be. If he's being banished to the stands, it has to be. And that can't be anything but an effort thing, surely.
Unless something's happening behind closed doors that we don't know about.
It's either an effort thing or he can't see eye to eye with the coach. But why would the coach be that adamant?
With any coach.
Why would the coach be that adamant to banish him if it wasn't a attitude thing? It has to be. There's just no other excuse. He can't be that bad while trying. For it to be him banished into the stands.
Yeah, I mean, something like this happened to Mesut Ozil, didn't it? He had his contract ripped up by Fenerbahce not long ago, but I mean, it's a completely different kettle of fish. Ozil was on the last few years of his career, you know what I mean? Dele Alli's 26 years of age, where you're thinking the heights he reached in the Premier League at 2021, he was literally one of the most sought after players in world football. Mm-hmm. And it's just like the last 4 or 5 years for him has just been about 3-4 years have been absolutely tragic. It really has, and it's hard to watch it, to be honest. And because we hold him like so close to our hearts for the moments that he gave us. And there are some Spurs fans that completely despise him now because of what he's going through and what he's showing on a football pitch. But I just see it as so upsetting. It really is so upsetting.
Also goes to show, like, even in these leagues, like the Turkish league, even if you're a superstar like Dele Alli, if you're not going to go and apply yourself, you can't just turn up to any of these professional football leagues and just think just because you were once a great player in a higher up league, you can just turn up and just turn it on and become a star in that league. No, you still have to apply yourself. You still need to give 100%, even if it's deemed a lower level. And I think he's a prime example of that. He clearly has gone there thinking, I'm just going to ball it out. I'm going to start nut making people every week like I used to be, and he's not applying himself, and he's got into a situation where he's even worse than he was at Everton and Spurs.
Yeah. So it's safe to say Dele Alli has hit rock bottom in terms of footballing career. I mean, he had a market value of like 90
What
million
happens to him, do you reckon, next season? Just rots in the reserves at Everton. Who's going to take him?
Yeah, I mean, at what point does he call time on his career? Because his career ain't going nowhere at the moment. I mean, maybe he just becomes a social media influencer and plays PlayStation and Xbox online. You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Where else is it going for him?
How long is his contract at Everton? I don't even know. But
I'm not sure.
I don't see him just retiring while he's still got a contract. He'll probably want the money. So I don't know.
It's a difficult situation. But look, let's move on and let's talk about the last story of the day, which is the England squad that Gareth Southgate announced today. Harry Kane and Eric Dyer have both been called up. The squad is Pickford, Pope and Ramsdale in goal. Chilwell, Dyer, Guehi, James, Maguire, Luke Shaw, Stones, Trippier and Kyle Walker as the defenders. Bellingham, Gallagher, Henderson, Maddison, Mount, Phillips and Rice. Foden, Grealish, Kane, Rashford, Saka, and Tony. I mean, how does Calvin Phillips keep getting these call-ups? He doesn't play.
Can I just say, Calvin Phillips in the squad? Is there a call for Ollie Skip?
I mean,
Surely Skip deserves him more than Phillips.
In terms of what they're showing at the moment, yeah, there is. I mean, I don't get how Calvin Phillips keeps getting the call-up.
Is there a midfielder right now, apart from like those? Obviously, you got Bellingham there, Gallagher. I mean, even Gallagher's not doing too well for Chelsea at the moment, but whatever, put him in. But like, there's Mount, who's been in shocking form for ages. Like, and then you got Phillips there. Like,
Winks, mate.
Who would be next in line?
Winks.
If like, forget Winks. But why
Winks is
Skip?
balling out for Sampdoria.
Well, no, but seriously, why is Skip not in, got a shout there? I'm being serious. Like, I think for the last few months he's been brilliant, and off the back of he's shown before his injury he can be a very good player. He's come back now, and now he's showing a really consistent level.
I would say for the last month. I wouldn't say the last few months. It's been since that Milan game.
Yeah, so last couple months. That was in February. So yeah, last 6 weeks. Like, why not?
Yeah, maybe because he hasn't shown it for long enough, I guess.
What's Phillips shown?
Well, he's one of his favourites. That's the problem. Like, Southgate likes to pick some of his favourites, and he's one of them.
Who are England even playing? Don't even know.
Italy and Ukraine.
In the qualifiers.
Yeah.
I think Skip should. I think forget Phillips. Skip should have been in there. I'm serious. I don't know how Dyer gets in there, but
yeah,
he's in
Ben
there.
White left out, which is crazy, and also Trent as well left out.
Trent left out. Well, you got Trippier and Walker there.
Trippier and Walker, yeah. So they've left out Ben White and Trent in terms of the right back situation. But look, how does Conor Gallagher even get called up?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Jordan Henderson, maybe just because he's like an experienced head in there.
Is Henderson in the squad?
Yeah.
Oh, he's been terrible for Liverpool recently. I reckon if Skip keeps up this form, next England squad, surely.
Yeah, I mean, if he shows this like consistently week in, week out, what he's doing right now by the summer, then maybe he can get a call up in the summer. But I kind of understand why Skip hasn't get called up, because it's only like a small sample size at the moment of what he's shown. It's been like I said, just over a month. And Calvin Phillips is one of his favoured and most trusted players for some reason. So I think Skip needs to do it over a longer period of time before he gets his call up.
Fair enough.
But that is all we have to talk about today. Let me know in the comment section below regarding any of the news stories we've brought to you today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.